Hey, it's Jaime with Echo Real Estate Advisors. Today we're going to automate our direct mail sendouts. First thing we're going to do is create the list that we're going to use to mail out. So if you already have a farm already selected and you're actively working on it, chances are you already have the direct mail. Now, you may be going directly to Google Maps and getting the addresses that way. You may be purchasing a list from third-party providers on how much equity somebody has, the actual contact information of the property owners, or going to the CAD, so the County Appraisal District, to get information of the owners of the properties around you. Now, you know that's a very manual way of doing it. If you've already done it before, congratulations. If you haven't, you know that's a huge chore that awaits you, unless you have Remine. If you're new to the channel, this may be the first time that you've heard about it, but if you're not, there are a lot of videos in the channel that share how to use Remine, what it is, and really how you can leverage it to maximize your listings. But in a nutshell, Remine is a predictive analytics tool that helps identify properties that are highly likely to sell in the next 12 months and are likely to sell between 12 and 24 months, and then 24 and above. So that it uses a whole bunch of selling indicators that give you essentially a green light or red light type of a message. So I'm not going to get too much into Remine per se. We're going to use Remine to gather our mailing addresses, but that's all we're going to do within Remine. So we're going to jump quickly into that, and then we're going to jump over to Vistaprint, which we're going to use to design our direct mail pieces and send them out in an automated way. So let's jump in. To get access to Remine, well, you see that I already have it open there, but I'll X out. I'm going through my dashboard, which I log into my MLS and the association that I'm part of here in the Metroplex. And click on Remine, and I am there. So this is South Arlington that we're gonna build a list from, and they're gonna receive a direct mail piece from myself. So let's just start building up a list real quick. Property values. Let's see what type of property values we have. I'm gonna zoom in for a few seconds so we can actually see the property values. No, a little bit more. There we go. Okay, as you can see, a majority of our property values are in between above $250,000. I think I'm looking at that shade correctly. Okay, so that's our first filter. We're looking at properties that are at least $250,000 and above. Okay, now I'm going to look at how long they've lived in the home. For me, I like to have a 5-year minimum in the amount of years they've lived there. I'm going to target people that actually live in the property, so that are owner occupants. And then I'm going to only highlight single family. And something else that I really want to drill down my message into is have people that have a 6% interest and above receive my mail piece. So I'm going to press apply. As you can see, it reduced my results quite drastically, which is a good thing. We're looking at direct mail, and we're wanting our direct mail pieces to reach those folks that are highly likely to act, or are more likely to act, versus the person that just landed into their home or moved into their home or just purchased their home a year ago, and they're not looking to sell. Most likely they won't be looking to sell unless if there's a job relocation or things of that nature. So For our purposes, we're going to stay between Debbie and Matlock and above Country Club Road, which should be down here. There we go. So we're looking at this area. Let me zoom in just a little bit so we only get the area that we want, or we can also create our little map. It's going to come out a little bit bad. I should have gone up a little bit further. It's not the best way of doing it, but it'll serve our purposes. So you see how to actually do it. Okay? Now I'm going to press track all. You see the 106 results that we have in this square or rhombus or rectangle, whatever that is. Now that we have those tracked, you see that they're in star mode. So that means that they've tracked, oops, forgot a few. Let's track those as well. You'll see them change into stars. Try one more time. There we go. Okay. We're going to jump over to track. And we have 111 results. Now at this point, we're going to select all of them. And we're going to download the CSV. Since this is a test, I need to call out that it's a test for me. South Arlington. South. Five-year. 6%. Save. And since we only have 111 results, it's going to take a few seconds and we'll get the notification up here that the download is ready to go. We're going to jump over to Vistaprint for time's sake, and we're going to get started. Now, if you're mailing, this is going to work if you're mailing postcards. If you have another service that you're wanting to send direct mail pieces with, like an actual letter, if that type of direct mail, then Vistaprint isn't where you're going to go. There's going to be links in the description below of other resources that you can use for that type of service. But for our purposes, we're going to go with Vistaprint and actually send out a postcard or show you how to send out a postcard. There's two sizes. You're going to go standard or oversized. For our purposes, we're just going to select standard. We're going to have a full color. The mailing list, we're going to upload our own. And then you can go first class or first class rush. Doesn't matter, it does matter depending on how urgent you want, but for our test, it's not gonna matter too much. We know that we're importing 111 properties, so I'm just gonna select 111 to see the quote. You see here it's about $89. It'll go up a little bit with some additional fees that they're gonna ask, but it won't go up by much. So let's get started. Go and check on our list. We see the notification bell, which if you are not subscribed, now would be a great time to subscribe, like, comment, share, and subscribe. As soon as you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video comes up. In this channel, expect at least 2 videos per week. Right now I'm averaging about 4 videos per week, so if I keep going down at that rate, then that's what it's going to be. But at minimum, expect 2 videos per week. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe. It helps out greatly with the distribution of the content. You see here that the CSV is ready to go. And am I logged in? Let me log in real quick. There we go. Now, you can upload your own design, or you can create a design straight from here. If you want to design your own and you have that knowledge set and capabilities, fantastic, design it and upload it and you're on your way. Now, if you are design challenged like I am, then you can go over to Fiverr or go to Upwork and submit the dimensions of the postcards, and somebody there will, for cheap, design a design for you that you're able to sign off or edit or adjust in any way before you upload it here. Now, it is inexpensive, and what's important when you're looking at service providers in those particular websites is their reviews. They do a great job. Not all of them do a great job, of course, but a good amount of them do. And you're going to be pleased with the results. But again, the ratings are super important in those websites. Now, since this is a test, I'm just going to run a generic one so you see how to do it. Just listed, and they have some additional real estate ones. So you see just listed type of campaigns. You can change it and edit it however you want. If you just sold a home and you want to blanket the area so the neighbors can experience your service as well, you can certainly be sending those out. And a little bit more generic type of a message. Here is more of an announcement of who you are. It's great for breaking into either the industry or the neighborhood, or really trying to increase your market share. For our purposes, we're going to go with the standard. Let's select this design. Okay, the home was just listed as on this example and is priced $249,500. The headline just listed, location, it's going to be Matlock Road. Your text here won't last long. Your name, title, how they can reach you, I've sent out other mail pieces. I'm wondering why it didn't pre-populate. That's why I wanted to log in, but I'll have to figure that out later. Anyway, so then you can go to the back to see what it looks like. You can make it grayscale, you can make it full color, you can make it blank. I'm going to put full color and have my information in the back as well. You can enter the description. Let's see. You can enter the description here on what you want it to say. Test description. We're going to go next. I have reviewed and approved my design. Now we get to the mailing list. Now, since you have your own list, you don't need to purchase a list through Vistaprint, and you don't need to purchase a list through a third party somewhere else. Remine already provides you that. And depending on which program you have, whether that's your standard, which is free, or you've moved up, and I don't remember prices at this point, and they could be subject to change, so I'm not going to I'm not going to speculate on prices. There's the leveling up, and then the final price. That one I am fairly certain is $199 today, and it has been for a while, so I don't know if they're going to go up or down, but it's $199 for the pro version, which is what I have. Going to upload a new list. Now I'm going to find this in my folder. Throw it over to my desktop. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of editing, which is fine. I'm used to the Facebook Messenger, which I can get away with not editing as much, but Vistaprint is asking us to be a little bit more concise. No problem at all. I'm going to open our list, and then we're also going to look at the fields that we're being asked. All right, so insert, salutation. I'm sorry, we're going to go with the bold because that's the only examples that they actually need, but well, we'll go ahead and add it, but know that the bold is really the only thing that you need. The first name, I know that we have the first name, so I'm gonna go and copy that row. There we go. I'm gonna name it first name. The middle name, I know we have access to the middle name, but I don't want to include it, so I'm just gonna include the header, but I'm not gonna include any content. Last name, we do have access to the last name. Okay. Suffix, you won't have access to that through Remine, which doesn't matter at the end of the day, but we'll include the header. The title, not very relevant to what we're doing, but we'll include it, knowing that we're not going to input anything there. The company name, insert, company name. Again, we're not going to input anything in there either. Address line, so this is your first address line, and then you have the city, and then you have the state, and then you have the zip code. The only thing we're going to match are the column headers as we have been doing it. Address line 1. We're going to add another field or column. We're going to put address line 2. We're going to leave that blank at the end of the day, just so we have everything matched up with Vistaprint, so it doesn't give us any more issues. Oops. State, zip code. Now, keep in mind what you're going to receive is you're going to receive the property address, which is the mailing address, and with that filter that we selected in Remine of owner occupied, we know that since they're owner occupied, that's pretty much where they're going to get their mail. Had you not done that, then you would have wanted the mailing address of the homeowners. So you wouldn't have used the actual address of the residence, you would have used the mailing address that they have here. So again, since we put that filter out front, then we didn't have to mess with it at the end of the day. I'm going to delete the rest of these. I'm going to put file, save as, revised. Okay. Now let's try one more time. And there you go. Now review the list and see if the fields imported where you needed them to import. First name, last name, address, city, state, and zip. So we're good to go. Go to next. This is what I like about Vistaprint. It actually verifies with the USPS to see if it's even deliverable. Chances are you're going to go 100 for 100 or 100% off of Remine data, as it's fairly accurate when it comes to addresses. So that's not going to be a consideration. But if you're importing your own list, if you typed it out the manual way in the past and that's how you have it, and you upload it, you may have a bit more error fields or corrections to do. It's going to check for duplicates. We won't have any duplicates given the way that we took our information, but again, it helps with human error. So I'm glad that it has that. Now it gives you an example of what it looks like, and this is where you can exclude anything that you want to exclude, but you get to see all of the fields. All of them, not all the fields, all of the addresses that you're about to send to. I've read the statement above and approve. I'm going to go to next. You can select how long you want, well, you can select how fast you want them to create this. If you go down the first class, you see that it costs 32 cents. If you go first class rush, you see it costs you per cent, but then they do a rush fee. And then if you go standard, and then you see the delivery range. For our purposes, since I'm not going to click confirm, I'm going to just go next. But you see the estimated delivery range, so you get a perspective on when your actual direct mail is going to hit. Okay, what if the customer has moved? You have the option to deliver the postcard anyway, notify me, forward it, none of the above. So for our purposes, since the postcard has moved, since the individual has moved, chances are that people toss out the previous owner's mail, or they're just going to refuse it altogether. I just click deliver the postcard anyway. I know it doesn't fit my parameters. I know they won't have the 6%, it wouldn't have the 6% interest, or wouldn't have lived there 5 years already. Chances are it's a very recent move. So I'm going to go and deliver the postcard anyway, but that's totally up to you. If you just want to be notified, or if you wanted it forward, or if you wanted to have it discarded, then that's up to you. And then at this point, you are at the point where you review the postcard, the list is there, you can change the paper stock, and then you go on about actual payment. I'm going to stop here because at this point it's just next, and then you click confirm to make the payment. But that is how you do direct mail through Vistaprint. As you saw, it didn't take us long at all. I don't know how long this video has been going for, but know that it's that easy. Again, if you're looking for a way to get everybody's addresses in, and if you want to blanket the entire neighborhood of where you live and just give a friendly how you doing? I live in the area. You can select your entire neighborhood, but again, I would really advise to use Remine to get at bare minimum, to get people's addresses. That way you don't have to manually get the lists or craft your list somehow. At the bare minimum, you have that, and you can filter the actual mailing address to see who is living in their property versus is renting it out. At the bare minimum, it helps you with that. But of course, as you saw, it has so many more capabilities. It has the sales score of low, medium, high. It has mortgage. It has the amount of home equity. It has the gamut. So feel free to mess with the filters there and adjust your list. But this is where you need to go to get your direct mail list, or your list to send to residences. And then you can go to Vistaprint, or you can go to other services that are similar, where you can create the postcard and or have them print out the letter that you like to send out and have it automated that way. This entire process does not need to take more than 20 minutes. What's going to take the bulk amount of the time is the design. If you use their design versus yours, or if you want to customize it, you have that capability as well right on the platform, or going over to Fiverr or Upwork or whomever's designing it. That's going to take the most amount of your time. It's not going to be in producing the list as it traditionally would have been. And once you have all that, you can just automate it, send it out, and you can have it scheduled to send out again in the future. So that's how you do direct mail. Again, go to Remine and then download the list, send it out via Vistaprint, and you're off and running. Feel free to comment in the section below if there's any questions that you have. Like, comment, subscribe, share with any real estate agent that you feel would benefit from this, and I'll see you in the next video.